喂，是你注意这个。
In the early hours of April 27th, a sudden and intense weather event unfolded in Qinzhou City, located in China's Guangxi province. What began as a period of short-term heavy rainfall quickly escalated into a significant urban flooding crisis, disrupting daily life and putting emergency systems to the test. According to official reports, rainfall intensified rapidly across the main urban districts and surrounding areas. Within a short span of time, streets that normally carried the steady flow of city traffic were overwhelmed by rising water levels. Major and secondary roads alike were submerged, with some areas reporting water levels high enough to reach above the tires of vehicles. As the rain continued, the impact became increasingly visible. Cars parked along roadsides were swallowed by floodwaters, while others attempting to navigate the inundated streets found themselves stranded mid-journey. Traffic across the city slowed to a near standstill, leaving residents facing difficult and potentially dangerous travel conditions during the morning commute. In response to the rapidly deteriorating situation, local authorities acted quickly. On the morning of April 27th, the Qinzhou City Flood Control and Drought Relief Headquarters issued a formal notice activating a Level 3 emergency response for flood control. This decision underscored the seriousness of the situation and marked the beginning of a coordinated, citywide effort to manage the crisis. Just an hour earlier, at 8 a.m., the Qinzhou Meteorological Department had already elevated its own alert level, activating a Level 2 emergency response for major meteorological disasters, specifically heavy rainfall. Together, these measures signaled a high level of concern and urgency among officials tasked with protecting both infrastructure and human life. The emergency notice outlined a series of immediate actions. Authorities emphasized enhanced monitoring of flood conditions, with relevant departments working together to assess risks and coordinate responses. Water management systems and flood control infrastructure were mobilized to ensure their operational safety, while timely updates were to be shared with the public through media channels. At the local level, flood control and drought relief command centers across counties and districts were instructed to intensify their readiness. Officials were required to remain on duty, conduct real-time consultations, and make targeted decisions to address evolving conditions. Particular attention was directed toward vulnerable areas, low-lying zones, known flood-prone locations, and sites at risk of geological hazards. Efforts also focused heavily on prevention and safety. Local teams were tasked with organizing evacuations where necessary, ensuring that residents in high-risk areas could be moved to safer ground. Drainage equipment and rescue personnel were pre-positioned in anticipation of worsening conditions, allowing for faster response times if emergencies escalated. In addition, areas near ongoing infrastructure projects, especially along the Pinglu Canal construction zone, were identified as requiring heightened vigilance. These zones often present additional risks during heavy rainfall, making proactive monitoring essential. While emergency teams worked on the ground, meteorologists sought to explain the unusual intensity of the rainfall. Data from the Qinzhou National Meteorological Station revealed that the city recorded 271.1 millimeters of rainfall within a single day. This not only marked the heaviest rainfall recorded for April, but also set a new local record for the earliest occurrence of such an extreme rainstorm. Experts pointed to a phenomenon known as the train effect as the primary cause. In simple terms, this occurs when storm cells repeatedly move over the same area, much like train cars passing along a track. In this case, strong southerly winds traveling northward slowed as they reached the Guangxi coast. There, they encountered opposing wind patterns caused by the interaction between land and sea breezes. This convergence of airflows created the perfect conditions for sustained convection, essentially allowing storm clouds to continuously regenerate over the same region. While radar imagery might suggest minimal movement, new storm cells were constantly forming and replacing older ones, leading to prolonged and intense rainfall over Qinzhou. Such weather patterns are more commonly observed later in the year, particularly after the onset of the summer monsoon in mid to late May. The fact that this event occurred in late April makes it both unusual and noteworthy, raising concerns about shifting weather patterns and the increasing unpredictability of extreme climate events. As of the latest updates, the heavy rainfall had not yet fully subsided, leaving authorities and residents on high alert. The situation remained dynamic, with emergency teams continuing to monitor developments closely and respond as needed. For the people of Qinzhou, this event serves as a stark reminder of how quickly natural conditions can change, and how critical preparedness and coordinated response efforts are in minimizing damage and ensuring safety. Moments like these highlight the importance of community awareness and resilience. Whether it's heeding weather warnings, avoiding flooded areas, or supporting emergency services, individual actions can make a meaningful difference during times of crisis. As the city works to recover and assess the full impact of this flooding event, attention will likely turn towards strengthening infrastructure, improving early warning systems, and enhancing long-term disaster preparedness strategies. For now, the focus remains on safety, ensuring that residents are protected, risks are contained, and recovery efforts can begin as soon as conditions allow. If you found this report helpful, consider staying informed and sharing accurate information with others. Awareness is one of the most powerful tools we have in facing natural disasters. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll continue to bring you updates as this situation develops.